What are you saying, people? It's Victavius here, yeah, Vic Repairs. Today we're repairing the front end damage of this Mustang MachE GT here. Not sure what plate it is, doesn't matter. First thing we've got to get on with is bending that bracket back so we can align all the wings and front bumper and stuff like that. So, as you can look at this bracket here, yeah, this is what it's meant to look like. And at the minute, this is what this bracket is looking like. So what we've got to do is bend this back into place so everything aligns proper. Right people, so this is the front end crash bar thingy, whatever it is. All we know is that it's bent and we've got to replace it with this one here. Now, as you've just seen, I've bent that bracket back, so hopefully this should fit into place. We're going to try and line it all up and we'll show you when it's done. So we've lined it up with that. This bracket just needs a tiny bit more bending back because it's not fully aligned up with this one. So we'll get back to you when we do that. Okay, that seems pretty alright to me, I reckon. People, attempt number 2 are trying to line it up, see if it all matches up. We're in. These little wheel stoppers here. Push down to make sure it's fully in. All in secure. There we go. It's definitely much better alignment. Might need just a tiny 2 hits with the hammer and that should be pretty perfect. That bracket seems to be good. And same with this side here. 1 or 2 more hits with the hammer and that should be ready to go in, people. So make sure it's not fully in line.
So yeah, pull up that wheel anyway. Yeah. I mean, you got these on properly, have you?
Nice one, people. So I've got this bracket here. It's got to sit in between this bracket and the crash bar to make sure it all sits and lines up properly and actually screws in. So we're going to do that and we'll get back to you as well. Oh yeah. So as you can see, this one is, well, it's out of commission at the minute. So what we're going to have to do is recommission it, straighten it out, make sure it's flat and level, and then we're going to put it in. It's bent like the people who don't subscribe, so make sure you subscribe. I need to get that clip out, people. And because it's bent, a bit of a struggle. So I've straightened it out more or less. It should straighten itself out fully once it's in. So I'm basically just going to do exactly what I did on that side on this side. Make sure this all lines up on the other side too. And that should just go in like that. Clips are in. I think that's all right, people. I think that's all right. So this is the old bracket that's bent, people, or the front end crash bar. As you can see here, this damage right there. If you want a close up on that, that is fucked, basically. So we're just taking off the bolts now, so we can stick them into the new one that's on there. And we'll show you a few clips of that once that's ready and done. Just bolting in the crash bar, people. Well, I think it's the crash bar anyway. To be fair, this might be the crash bar. I don't know, front end thing, yeah? You don't need to know the names for everything in mechanics, you just need to know where everything goes. And then just start tightening. Well, people, we've got a visitor. Little deer. Okay, people, so if you want to take a guess what that is, because I wouldn't be able to tell from the back. However, front broken headlights. So took that off the right side from there. The left one's all good and intact though, so we're gonna reuse that. That's not a problem. We're just gonna line it up now with the front end crash bar that we put on to make sure that it all lines up sweet. If it does, then we're gonna carry on and line it up with the wing. Lines up all sweet, and we should be ready to start putting it all back together properly. Right, people, so I'm not sure if that is perfect alignment. We're gonna have to get our superior to have a look at it. But if it is, then we should be ready to bolt it in. Alright, so we're off to go get the fresh new bonnet. As you just seen in a few shots there, was taking off the bonnet with the supervisor because, you know, he's the pro, he's the expert, and we're definitely not doing that on our own, just in case we damaged anything. Anyway, got it off all safely. Now we're going up to this big house here to go get the fresh bonnet where it lives at the minute. Slap it on the car, and then we're going to try and carry on lining up the wing with the bonnet. Once we know that it's all lined up, then should be ready to, like I said, put it all back together again. Bloody shit. Yo, so this is the house, people. This is where me and Kathy G, the supervisor's wife, put the bonnet not too long ago, and it's just laying over here on some cardboard. Now, we've got to be super duper careful with this because if we do damage it, then yeah. So me and Chloe are going to lift this out of the house, and yeah. Alright people, so carrying it off to the car now, and we'll take some shots of putting it back on, this fresh one, and then yeah, we're going to start lining everything up again. If you couldn't tell already, the hardest bit of doing this type of shit, like body work and that, is really just lining up. That's the bit that takes most of the time. Bolting in the things ain't too difficult, but yeah, getting everything lined up properly is the hard part, to be fair. Yeah, might be a bit longer than I expected today, but should be alright. Yo people, so we're back. We had our supervisor, manager, director help us with the bonnet, obviously, because yeah, this is an expensive bit. Didn't want to break it, so missed a few bits in there, but he didn't really miss much. We just kind of bolted, if you want to have a look here, just bolted these two bits in, make sure these are all lined up, and these two bolts here, and this hydraulic fucking whatever. So now the next step is for the headlight to go in and make sure it lines up properly. Did he say it was in the car? If you want to go get that, Chloe, my
trusty assistant.
My trusty assistant, that's the one. Yeah, this wing is more or less lined up. I think this side needs just a tiny bit more pushing in, I think, as he said, but that's all right, he'll get on with that. If you want to come have a look at this bit, I'm not sure if this is definitely probably the most major bit. I don't know if you people can tell, yeah? If you want to look at this bracket, massive, big, thick thing, quite straight, isn't it? If we pop over to the other side quickly, this is obviously the same massive bracket, but on the other side. Now that is completely bent. So, and obviously we can't just pull that out with a hammer or our hands. That is going to need some big machinery over there, probably some rope or some wire to fully pull that out and straighten it. But the headlight should still go in all level with that, and we'll properly know if we've aligned it once the headlight goes in, and it should really just look like this. We really want these gaps just to be all perfect. As I said, it's just trial and error. Now we've got my trusty assistant with the headlight. If you want to pass that over to me, thank you. So now we're going to slap this in, and yeah, we'll see what it's looking like. Just bolting in this first bolt here. Now this bolt is different to the three other ones that hold a headlight in, apparently because this is the one that kind of lines it up, I guess you could say. So just putting in this one first. Make sure it's not too tight, because you probably will have to loosen it again a bit, just to make sure it's properly lined up. Now this already looks to me like it's not proper yet. This panel gap is different to this panel gap here, just in the slightest. But I believe that is because we haven't, this wing still needs pushing in the tiniest little bit. So once we push that wing in a tiny bit, as I said, we're only putting on the headlight to make sure it does line up, and as we can see, it doesn't. It's basically just a lot of the trial and error. I think this wing needs pushing in the slightest more, don't you? All right, people, so as I've just said before, bonnet's on. Wing will be fully properly aligned by the supervisor off camera. That's got to do with us now, really. Now what he's asked me to do is put on the bonnet latch back on. So bonnet latch is basically the thing that holds the bonnet in when you put it down, because obviously at the minute, if we just put it down now, it just sits kind of like that, and I can put it back up. So this obviously bonnet latch is what holds it in properly. So once we've got that on, it will also lift the bonnet up a slight bit, so it will make the alignment just a slightly bit better. So I'm going to get the bolts for that, get them in, do some clips of them, put it in, and then we're probably more or less done for today, as we've run out of time as well. But we'll definitely come back with a part 2, possibly even some videos and clips of it being, obviously because that wing is completely different colour. This is going to be sanded down, repainted, so we might even possibly get some clips of that. I'll ask the supervisor about that one. And then this car should be ready to be sold. Obviously that needs to get pulled out again. This all might need to, all this headlight, all this wing might need to come off again, possibly, very possibly, most likely will. But you know, that's just how it is, like I said before, trial and error. So, okay people, so supervisor has confirmed that this is all alright for now. He is going to do some last final couple tweaks, just to get it perfect. However, we won't be here for that. There's going to be a part 2 next video. We're going to get some shots of this getting re-painted. That won't be me doing that though, unfortunately. Don't trust myself anyway. In the next part, we are going to bend this back out. We're going to have to take the wing off again, so all of this again, which we won't show that because it's all more or less the same stuff. Obviously we'll show that getting bent back out. If you want to come over here as well, there is a bit of back end damage here as well. This is like a whole another level. This is not me, this is all supervisor, manager, director. He's going to be sorting that out, so we won't really be showing any of that, just before I let you guys know. But other than that people, we'll see you in the next one. Sweet.